What if Tanjiro Kamado got a second chance? What if, after dying to defeat Muzan, he was sent back to the very beginning? Back to that snowy morning, with every memory of the future, every brutal fight, every heartbreaking death, seared into his mind. Now, what if we gave him something more? A system, like those in the manhwas we all love. A power that could quantify his growth, grant him impossible skills, and turn his quest for vengeance into an unstoppable storm. Could he save his family? Could he prevent Rengoku from dying at the hands of Akaza? Could one boy, armed with the knowledge of a tragic future and the power of a god, completely shatter the timeline of Demon Slayer? The answer is yes, but it's how he does it that changes everything. Buckle up, because this is the story you've been waiting for. So, Tanjiro wakes up in the snow. He smells the iron tang of blood before he even sees it. And in one horrifying second, his entire past life, the war, the loss, the victory, crashes into his child's mind. He sees his family's bodies, and there's no confusion, no denial. Just a cold, empty void that is instantly filled with a burning, tactical rage. This isn't just grief. It's the frustration of a general who has seen the end of the war, sent back to the start with his hands tied. And that's when the universe glitches. Green materializes in front of him.
System booting. Soul compatibility confirmed. Welcome, player. Main quest issued. The Sun's Vengeance.
Objective: eradicate Muzan Kibutsuji. Condition for S+ rank, perfect victory. Ensure the survival of all 9 future Hashira. Failure, soul annihilation. No pressure, right? Just get a perfect score on your revenge quest or your soul gets deleted. Standard manhwa stuff. Tanjiro just looks at it, and a grim smile touches his face. This isn't a threat, it's a contract. A perfect victory is the only outcome he'll accept. The game has begun. So he gets to Urokodaki's, and the training is no longer a struggle. It's a resource grind. Urokodaki is witnessing a miracle and a monster. He gives the boy a task that should take a week, and it's done in a day. He teaches a breathing form, and Tanjiro has it mastered in an hour, even pointing out potential variations. The old master starts to feel less like a teacher and more like a witness. And then comes the boulder, Urokodaki's final exam. Tanjiro accesses his system and finds a new skill he unlocked from his insane training pace. It's an interface that lets him literally drag and drop the principles of different breathing styles. He takes the constant flowing motion of water breathing's constant flux and fuses it with the raw, explosive power of the Hinokami Kagura's raging sun. He basically crafts a new special move in the menu. He takes a stance and calls out its name. Composite breathing, first form, sun-drenched tsunami. His blade hits the boulder and it just detonates. It explodes into dust and pebbles. Urokodaki is just left standing there in a cloud of dust, probably trying to understand how this boy just broke the laws of physics. The ghosts of Sabito and Makomo, who were watching, probably just looked at each other, shrugged, and faded away, knowing their services were no longer required. The final selection becomes his personal hunting ground. He moves like a phantom, saving every candidate he comes across. This is where he first properly meets Zenitsu and Inosuke. Zenitsu's super hearing picks up on Tanjiro's sound, and it's not the gentle, kind sound from our timeline. It's the sound of a roaring, controlled inferno. Zenitsu is probably thinking, that sound is what a god tries to make when he's trying to be quiet. Inosuke, with his wild instincts, doesn't see a rival. He sees the undisputed apex predator of the mountain. Tanjiro isn't their friend yet. He's their leader, their boss. Their first real test as a team is Mount Natagumo. And this is where the timeline truly begins to fracture. Tanjiro moves through the demon-infested forest with a cold efficiency, his memories allowing him to predict and counter every attack. While Zenitsu and Inosuke are struggling, Tanjiro is systematically dismantling the spider family. Then he confronts the source, Rui. In the old timeline, this is where Tanjiro was pushed to his absolute limit. This time, he is the limit. The fight begins, and it is a complete one-sided domination. As Rui's threads fly, the system flashes. In a flash, Tanjiro's mind is filled with the image of a perfect stance, the exact wrist angle to deflect, the flawless footwork to close the distance. He moves without thinking, his body a perfect vessel for a ghostly memory. He flows through Rui's strongest attacks, his blade a blur, severing threads faster than Rui can create them. Rui, a Lower Moon 5, a being of immense pride, is completely bewildered. He's throwing everything he has at this kid, and nothing is landing. It's like trying to hit water. With a final, elegant movement guided by the ghost of a god, Tanjiro appears before him and takes his head in a single, beautiful, terrifying motion. The fight is over before it truly began. Giyu and Shinobu arrive seconds later, expecting to find a massacre. Instead, they find a low-rank slayer standing calmly over the ashes of a 12 Kazuki. The intense part is over. Now for the fallout. Giyu is completely silent, his brain probably blue-screening as he tries to process what he's seeing. He felt the sheer power from a distance, and it didn't feel like any Hashira he knew. Shinobu keeps her smile, but you know she's already mentally dissecting him. She's thinking, fascinating, his power output is illogical. I must get a blood sample. She's not just seeing a prodigy, she's seeing a living, breathing research project. This incident leads them to the Butterfly Mansion, where Tanjiro's unintentional harem protagonist EX skill activates. He's polite, mature, and focused on his training. The three little helpers are basically his personal fan club. And Kanao? She finds herself watching him train, her coin getting more exercise than Inosuke's abs. This kid has a gravitational pull, and he doesn't even know it. All right, this is it, the main event. The Mugen train. On the train, Rengoku basically adopts him on the spot. After they deal with Enmu, the real boss arrives, Akaza. The battle is a spectacle. Rengoku is a true legend. But Tanjiro knows it's a fight he's destined to lose. He sees Rengoku preparing his final glorious 9th form. The death flag is up, but Tanjiro is here to burn it to the ground. As Akaza moves in for the kill, the system basically hits the Call a God button. Tanjiro's entire presence shifts. His kind eyes become ancient and cold. To Akaza, the boy in front of him just transformed into the ghost of his greatest trauma. Guided by this phantom, Tanjiro creates a technique that should not exist. He screams its name, and his voice echoes with the weight of centuries. Sun breathing, 13th form, heavenly sun, absolute annihilation. It's a concentrated vortex of pure solar energy that erupts from his blade. Akaza, on pure primal instinct, abandons his fatal blow on Rengoku to try and survive. The attack carves a massive cauterized canyon through his chest. Akaza is mentally broken. He flees in utter terror. The intense part is over. Rengoku is on the ground, beaten, bloody, but alive. He looks over at Tanjiro and realizes he just witnessed the second coming of the sun god. Which, let's be real, he kinda did. The intensity fades, and now we get the character moment. Zenitsu and Inosuke wake up from being knocked out just in time to see Akaza fleeing and Rengoku alive. Zenitsu is just screaming, "What did we miss?" While Inosuke is furious he didn't get to fight the pink-haired demon. And that's where we leave part 1. Rengoku is alive, Akaza is running for his life, and Tanjiro has just proved he's the new final boss. The rules of the game are gone. But what happens when Muzan gets the report that an Upper Moon 3 was just humiliated by a kid who looks exactly like the man from his nightmares? What happens when a living Rengoku tells the other Hashira what he saw? Get ready, because the entertainment district is next, and you have no idea how broken this story is about to get when the god of festivals teams up with the god of the sun.